thanks to the supporters of channel member Curtis Rothwell. Oh, it's the most wonderful time of the year. It is the day where we break even for the year. It's FA Cup third round day. We're away against QPR. They are actually struggling in the Championship, so there is an outside chance of an upset, but we're not really here for an upset. We're here just to cash our check and run, and if anything sillier than that happens, we'll just roll with it, I guess. And we are coming into this match in pretty good form. If you look at what's gone on since the previous round in the last episode against Morecambe, we've got through to the next round of the FA Trophy, which we don't normally do. And we've lost just the one game in the league. I mean, to be fair, we hadn't lost many games leading into it. And you always lose the game before a big cup game. In fact, we drew the one before us. We beat Boreham Wood. You know, we did win what? We've only won one match. We're not in good form at all. Right, this is what the league table looks like, though. We've actually moved up this a little bit. 6 points off the top of the league with a game in hand. There is a chance here. And certainly having Johnny Day knocking around the place definitely helps, because he is still scoring goals for fun. 17 goals from 16 appearances in a Bedford shirt. Just unleash him on QPR, because like I say, they are struggling. They're down in 19th place in the Championship. Their form is certainly not as good as ours. So stranger things have happened. We pushed Premier League Sunderland all the way this time last year. I suspect we're going to come here and get absolutely battered, but you never know. We've got Casagrande in goal, a back four of Strachan, Brown, Stockill, Huffer and Shield, Compton and Aribe in midfield, Sheringham, Miambi and Rhys Dottin out wide, and then Thomas and Day together up front. And just cross your fingers, boys and girls. We're looking for two things here. Thing number one, we want a packed Loftus Road. If there's lots of fans here, we're going to make lots of money. And that is not a full ground. That is potentially not ideal. We'll check on the attendance in a second. I think we can check on the in-betweeny screen what the attendance actually is. Somewhere up here? I feel like it. Oh, no, goodness me. We don't want graphs. I feel like somewhere on here. There you go. 7,500. I don't think that's making us a huge amount of money. We get 45% of that, which is what? 3.5. It's like a big home game for us. I mean, we're not going to make loads of money, but maybe we'll beat them and then go away to Arsenal in the next round or something. That would be super duper. Right, we've got a throw in a very advanced position. Strachan's come all the way across to take it. Brown with the flick on. Day's there, and we've taken the lead. 15 minutes in against QPR. It's Johnny Day again, everybody. What a man. What a good throw from Strachan. These long throws, we've been trying them since the series began. We've never really got them working consistently, but that's a lovely flick on from Brown, and Day's there just to be a poacher. It's what he does. He just scores goals, boys and girls. And now it's QPR 0, Bedford 1, and QPR, the form they've been in, will be worrying now. They'll be worried that they could be about to be embarrassed. They are not a confident football team. I'm still not expecting to win, but stranger things have happened, haven't they? Right, Strachan gives it to Sheringham Mayembe, who tries to release Thomas down the left-hand side. Day's lurking in the middle. Thomas decides to go it alone when he probably should have just given it to the goal machine. I mean, how long do we keep hold of Johnny Day if he keeps scoring at the rate that he's scoring? He's still averaging more than a goal a game in a Bedford shirt. He's now proved he can do it against Championship opposition as well. Surely if you're a League 1, League 2 team, it is January, the transfer window is open. If you're in League 1 or League 2, you're looking at this guy thinking 200 grand for him. We'll have a bit of that. And to be fair, we'd probably take it, 200 grand, as we're not going to make it from the cup run. 200 grand for our star player. Yeah, we'll probably take that. We started the season without him. It's not as if we don't know how to play football without him. Obviously, he's been a huge difference maker since he arrived, but we'd survive without him. Of that, I am sure. This is good work from Rhys Dottin. Gives it to Compton. Compton through to Day. Day's not used to being that far from the penalty area, but he slots it through to Rhys Dottin, who slides it across goal. And how has Thomas not scored? It's a corner. Someone's got a touch on that to take it off of Thomas's foot, but that could have been 2-0. And we are all over them. We've been the better team in this first half. I imagine QPR are going to get a bit of a shouting at half-time. If they score an equaliser from here, there's no justice in the world. Cross comes in from the corner, and it's an equaliser. There is no justice in the world. We dealt well with the original corner, but they were first to the second ball, just got it back across the other side, and we just kind of been very guilty of chasing the ball. We've left this guy pretty much unmarked at that far post. Who's that on him? It's Compton, who's never going to win a header. And yeah, we've loaded up the front post because they've put all the big guys at the front post for the corner, and then they've just worked it back out and then hit the far post where we don't have anybody defending. Done at my own game, and yeah, I do feel a little bit harshly done by to be drawing at half time when we'd comfortably been the better team in that first half. I mean, they're officially ahead for XG now. Balls to your XG. I suspect we go on and lose from here because they've now got their tails up. They're ready for it, and we've probably taken a little bit of a at half time when we thought we were going in with a lead. I thought we were going in with a lead. I was already doing my half-time victory speech. Yeah, 3 minutes into the second half. It's 2-1 to QPR, and I suspect the dream is over. Let's go attacking. It is the FA Cup. Let's try and get back into the game. But they've just turned it on a little bit there, haven't they? Have we got enough about us to drag ourselves back into this game? That ever since they got their first one, we are struggling. I love the fact that's gone down as 47 plus 2. What a nonsensical thing to have put on the screen there. Right. We're not gonna wait any longer. We're gonna get the big guy on. Cena's coming on for Thomas. Shield wasn't really fit going in, so Moore is going to come on for him because he can sort of play right wing back. And I think we're going to take off Reece Dottin. Moore's looking at that thinking, I'd quite like to go. You're not going out there. In fact, he might be because we don't have anyone else who can. We've got Gio Smith who could potentially come in that kind of area. You know what we could do? If we're chasing a goal, we could do shenanigans. So if we put Smith there, and then Moore further forward, get him up there and do that kind of thing, because that does get him in his position and him closer to his position. It might be madness. It might work. We're going to try it and see what happens. 25 minutes to go. Let's see if we can sneak another goal from somewhere. We're going to go very attacking. It's the FA Cup. We're going to throw everything we've got at it and see if something bonkers happens. I don't think anything bonkers is going to happen. What else have we got on the bench that could potentially change things? We've got Taylor, who's barely ever scored a goal for us. Compton's not having a nice game, so Chalk can come on for him. And Sheringham Miembe. I think I am going to get Taylor on for him. And again, just do some shenanigans. So when we've got the ball, get like that. And he can be a poacher as well. And then do something a bit like that. I mean, we're trying some things. It's a little lopsided in places, but who knows? Something mad might happen. This is why I like the in and out of possession stuff, because out of possession, it doesn't look entirely insane. In possession, it's obviously nuts. But I quite like the fact we can do that. I am enjoying experimenting more and more with the in and out of possession stuff. Right, the 90th minute, there's 5 minutes of time added on. Have we got an equaliser in us? Moore's come all the way back to right back. Plays it forward to Smith, and now Moore over the top for Cena, who can't win the header. We kind of needed him to there, although Chalk is charging out of midfield, shoots from it, shouldn't have done. He's got literally 3 strikers and a winger ahead of him, plus Smith. There's like 5 players ahead of him there, and he's decided to go for glory and missed. It's that kind of thing. You have to score, or you look a Wally, and he looked a Wally. I mean, for the second year in a row, we've not looked completely out of place, but you certainly don't get as much money for losing as you do for winning, strangely. We've made it up to 250,000. The last few years, we've got closer to 400. Our wage bill is higher now. The projections are a little bit worrying. I don't know if that's enough money to keep us in the black. But, I mean, we've not gone overdrawn at any point during the save so far. So we're doing all right from that perspective. And we have got some of our fringe players. There's interest in them. So we could potentially make a sale if we need to, in the interests of balancing the books. I mean, the game thinks Johnny Day is worth up to £500,000. Can you imagine selling a player for £500,000 in non-league? That would be bananas. Right, we are going to play a few matches. We'll probably come back at the end of January. I think Eastleigh are right up there at the top of the league, actually. They were last time I looked. Yeah, Eastleigh are top of the league, so we'll come back for that Eastleigh game, I think. Well, that has been a weird January where we've not been in incredible form. I mean, I guess we've won 4 of our 6 games. We've got ourselves knocked out of the FA Trophy. More importantly, Casagrande's injured. So we are going to be without him, where is he, for another 3 to 6 weeks. He's broken his arm, which I think that's the second time he's broken his arm in the 2.5 years he's been here. So that's potentially alarming, but Alistair Graham, I mean, he's fine as a backup. He is only 5'10". It's not quite the same physical presence, but he theoretically has a higher upside with that 5-star potential. So he's getting a little run in the team. What is potentially more problematic is 2 of our loans that I thought were season-long loans, I guess weren't. And Sheringham Miembe has gone back to Watford and Stockhill Huffer has gone back to Arsenal. And we've not replaced them yet because we don't really have any money. We've only got £477 a week spare because we're in the transfer window. All the loans want money again. So we're kind of 3 players short on where we were. But all that being said, the wobbly form, the loss of players, everyone else is wobbling too. And we go into this game against Eastleigh, level on points with them, knowing that a win puts us top of the league, albeit with Eastleigh having a game in hand over us. So, like I say, very strange January, and this is the team for the big game against Eastleigh. It's Graham in goal, a back for Strachan, Brown, Captain Kirk and Shield, Compton and Aribe in midfield. Rhys Dottin's now moved over to the left with Sheringham Miembe leaving, and Moore has come in and kind of started to establish himself on the right-hand side. Thomas up front with Day. Thomas would have been a choice to drop back to the left-hand side if he hadn't have started scoring goals. It's almost as if he knew what I was thinking and was like, oh, I better start scoring a few goals if I want to continue playing up front. So he does get to continue playing up front for today. I've just realised we don't have anyone sensible on the bench. So let's just sort the bench out. I don't quite know what's happened with this bench, but let's get some of our actual grown-up footballers on there, rather than the assortment of children we've got down there currently. So Taylor can come up on there. So we need proper players for a match like this. And we're nearly there. Get Gio Smith on there as well. And that is now a much more sensible bench. Let's go beat Eastleigh. Team submitted. I have no idea how competitive we're going to be in this match. Like I say, we are a strange team who are sometimes good, and then sometimes we play like we did in the FA Trophy in the previous match, and we're just a bit, we did rotate a little bit in that one. We gave Cena a run out up front, and he didn't really impress. He's another one. I mean, Cena is still very young, and obviously he's very tall, so he's going to get more opportunities with me than a 5'11" striker would get. That's for sure. But at the moment, he's not really taking his chances when he's given them, and I don't want to give him a run of 5 or 6 games when we're in a promotion race just to see if he starts scoring again. So that's something we can worry about in League 2 next year. Bring him with us there. Why not? Right, Strachan with another opportunity for a long throw. I mean, that is a very long throw. It doesn't find a blue shirt this time, but it falls to Moore on the edge of the area. He's hit the inside of the post and it then goes across the goal line. Oh, that feels like we should be 1-0 up. Brown tries to put it back into the danger area, but the Eastleigh keeper is there to collect relatively comfortably, but that was a very good effort from Moore and just needed the slightest of touches from anybody and it ends up in the back of the net. Captain Kirk heads it clear, but Eastleigh hit it back in again. Graham's got that covered, I think, despite being only little. which I think is probably the thing that's going to hold him back from ever being a first choice goalkeeper for me, unless he proves to be an even better shot stopper than Casagrande, which is asking a lot. The fact that he's so small is going to be a problem. Day now trying to get something going on the right hand side. Johnny Day bursts into the area, shoots from just inside the area and forces the corner out of the Eastleigh keeper. It's a good save from him. Day's actually slowed down his goal scoring a little bit. As Thomas has come into some goal scoring form, Day has dropped back to more like normal human goal scoring exploits. And I think he's now got something like 23 from 25. So he's not scoring. He's no longer scoring at more than a goal a game. It's very sad. He wasn't able to keep it going all season. My internal narrative for what's gone on there is he knows it's January. He doesn't want to leave, so he doesn't want to attract too much attention, and he'll start scoring constantly again once we get into February, and he knows he's safe and no one's going to swoop in and take him away from his beloved Bedford. I'm pretty confident that's the situation as it stands currently. 0-0 as we head towards the hour mark. We've been the better team in this match, and as the home team, the onus is on us to get a result. And obviously, if we are serious about being in a promotion race, we'd quite like to beat the team who are currently in possession of that position, even if they'd be able to go back above us again by winning their game in hand. But we're heading into February, heading into the business end of the season. It would be nice to do it top of the league. We're probably not going to, because we've just gone 1-0 down on the hour mark. We're going attacking. We don't want to see the replay. If I can find my mouse pointer, I can skip out of it. There we go. And now I am glancing down at that bench that we so carefully put together with every available senior player we've got. And we're looking at Bruno Sena, I guess, as a potential game changer. Day gives the ball away. It's been a pretty ineffectual performance from Johnny Day, which is a rare thing to say. They've got him behind Shields there very comfortably, and Graham, I'm not sure, has that covered. He kind of dives the wrong way for it almost, and that could have been messy. Right, Graham forward to Strachan. Strachan gets him out of trouble there, but the ball is going to come straight back at us again. It's very sloppy from us. And Eastleigh trying to get through. Captain Kirk clears it to Day. And now Compton gives it to Thomas. Day has started his run if we can find him. He's got Moore on the overlap. Moore bursts into the area. Shoots when he probably should have played it across to Thomas. It's a decent opportunity, but probably the wrong decision at the end of it. And I think we do need to freshen things up a little bit. Shield is going to come off. Cannaville can come on for him. He's struggling and tired. We're going to take off Thomas and bring on Sena. And then I think we're going to take off Moore, bring on Gio Smith. He can play on the left-hand side. Reece Dottin can go back over to his more comfortable right-hand side. And I think we're going to go very attacking. We've got 20 minutes to try and salvage a point. I mean, it's not disastrous if it ends like this. We're still very much in the mix, particularly for the playoffs, which we'd have been over the moon at the start of the season if you'd have offered us playoffs. So we don't need to force getting into a proper title race. That being said, we'd quite like to. Right. The Luke Ness monster gets to come on, who fell down the pecking order with Stockhill Huffer here, but he is 6'4", 6'5". He is a big boy and was expected to be our starting centre back at the start of the season, but then we signed a couple of others over the top of him, the way I do sometimes because I'm a rascal. Right, Day gets into the area, squares it to Sena. It's disallowed. That could have been yet another big game on-camera performance from Bruno Sena, which I am starting to think the majority of Bruno Sena's goals come when you lot are watching. It's like he wants to forge a special relationship with you lot and doesn't care about me in the meantime. And it is sad. I would like him to be the player that Johnny Day is. I would like him to be our free scoring top scorer because he's got a fun name and he's a very big boy. And they're two of my main criteria when it comes to picking players for my teams. But it is a corner for Eastleigh, 85 minutes on the clock. I don't know that we're getting back into this one. Cannaville heads it clear-ish, and that's a big miss from the Eastleigh forward. And can we get up the other end of the pitch and grab ourselves an equaliser. Restarting, flicks onto Day, who's got space to run into and a big man in the middle to aim at. Day's going it alone though, and Johnny Day has scored a wonder goal. Lovely stuff from him. We'll drop down to a positive mentality. We'll take a draw based on how today has gone. This is great from Day though. He's squared it to Cena before. He was offside, doesn't trust him to stay onside this time, even though I think he probably did. So decides to go it alone, grabs the equaliser. We'll take the final whistle there. Forget that. Why is our centre-back taking the corner? But it falls to Reece Dottin. Can he find the big man in the middle? Reece Dottin. Again, he's decided to shoot rather than cross. It's questionable, some of the decision-making from some of our wide men in these matches. But like I say, a draw is fine. We've got 30 seconds left and we've got the football. Dare we dream? Compton to Strachan, lumps it forward. Cena brings it down on his chest. He's such a big boy. Smith back to Chalk, and now Chalk again finds Cena. Cena into Reece Dottin. Day's in the middle, and Johnny Day scores in the 94th minute to put Bedford top of the National League as we head into February. Lovely stuff. And this is exactly how this front four is supposed to function. The big man drops deep, holds up play, lays it off to a winger who squares it to the poacher for the tap in. That is them following instructions. And if they did it a bit more often, we'd be well clear at the top of the league. So many times they get into positions like that and shoot. But that shows how well it works when they are told. And there we are. Top of the league after 30 matches. What a time to be alive. We obviously have the run in now. There's no more FA Cup, no more FA Trophy to worry about. I'm looking at a big game for me against Northampton, but we'll probably find a more relevant big game for the series because I think Wobblers are getting relegated. Oh, actually, no, they've made their way. You know what? That could be a big game. They were struggling early on in the season. Can we look at a shape of their season? No, that's a thing that's been removed, clearly. I wanted the little wiggly graph. I imagine it's in there somewhere. I just don't know where to find it. Is there a way to look at a proper table? Today's probably not the day to go looking for it, but I'm sure Northampton were much lower in the league earlier in the year. Job's not done yet, obviously. Eastleigh still have a game in hand. We're level on goal difference with them as well. So we do need to keep on winning. But at the moment, we are looking like we're in a jolly nice position. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.